What's up, guys? Corey here with Toothless Reptiles in San Diego. It's about just before 5 a.m. San Diego time, and we are going to get the Toothless and Balarion ready to ship to Columbus, Ohio. We're actually going to end up shipping Valerian in a insulated box inside of one of the wooden crates that I built, so we can make sure that she is nice and warm and insulated, because she should be gravid at this point, so we want to make sure she's able to regulate her body temp. Hey, big guy. And then we got that giant man beast back there. I don't know if you guys can see him, but so we'll probably pack up Toothless first, since she is in the sunroom upstairs. So we'll get everything ready. On the boxes, you want arrows pointing which direction is up on the boxes. You're going to want your Lacey Act label as well for any shipment. Anytime you do that has an animal in it, you're supposed to have a Lacey Act label. And it just says that it's a reptile and then the species. But then also we are going to add 3 heat packs per box, because Columbus, Ohio is so cold, and obviously the belly of an aircraft is so cold. We're going to want to make sure these guys are okay. They're definitely not going to be comfortable regardless, but we want to make sure that they do okay just in shipping, which is why we took the extra step with those. Ideally, I'd like to styrofoam line the boxes, so that way we don't have to do that, but it is the day after Thanksgiving, and everywhere was closed on Thanksgiving, and I had totally forgotten about it. So we're going to make do with that. And we also, usually to ship anything on an aircraft, you have to, it has to be in a wooden crate. So I just made all of these crates out of 3/4 inch plywood. So you're basically just going to get the animal in the burlap sack, put it in the box, and then we'll tape the heat packs to the roof of the box, or if you really want to, you can just throw them in there. Those heat packs don't get hot enough to hurt a water monitor. They get about 80 degrees to 95 degrees. Then we just screw it together and take it down to the airport. You will have to fill out an air bill. I always ship where I can choose the flights that the animal goes on. So, like for instance, from San Diego to Columbus, Ohio is a dual flight travel. So some of those crossovers are in really cold places like Colorado, which is what I don't want. I don't want the animal being unloaded in Colorado and then waiting for the other plane and then put back on. They had one that has a crossover in Oakland that is still in California, so the temperatures will be a lot higher. So that's the flight that we're doing. So we have a flight going from San Diego to Oakland. There's a crossover there where it's going to be put onto another plane and flown straight to Columbus, Ohio. So it costs a little bit more money to guarantee a flight, but you, I don't know, do it for the safety of the animal. It's completely worth it. So I don't know why people wouldn't do that, but so we're gonna get Toothless down here. It's obviously it's a bittersweet moment. Toothless is going to Columbus, Ohio, but we're still gonna be able to work with her in the future. But at this point, with everything that happened with Joseph Vella's animals that ended up coming over here, and we're in the middle of moving and building the other facility, I was excited that we were kind of getting rid of some of the water monitors, so I didn't have so much to take care of. But then when Joseph Bella's animals came after the tragic events of the passing of Joe, it's like I'm still gonna have a ton of lizards to take care of. So it's kind of bittersweet. But I'm gonna run upstairs and grab Toothless, and I'll bring her down. So if you guys want to hold tight, I'm going to go grab her out of the sunroom, bring her down in here, and we can get her packaged up, and I'll walk you through the rest of the process. So, as you can see, this is Toothless. So, she's I'm sad to see her go, but we're switching gears here at Toothless Reptiles, so it's a good thing. But she's gonna have a good, safe trip, huh, girl? So, so she's so funny. But what are you doing? What are you doing? So, but we'll get her, we're going to put her in this burlap sack and then basically just zip tie the sack. And this is just so she feels secure and doesn't move around in the box. So, and then we'll do the heat packs as well. So we'll be able to go from there. But, here, girl, get off of me. I gotcha. I know. You don't want to go. I know that. I promise it's for the best. Hey, you're okay. Look. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And obviously, before you ship any reptile, you want to you want to stop feeding them. I know you don't want to go. It's okay. We're helping you out. You want to stop feeding them a few days before they ship. Just to make sure they're not going to poop in the boxes. So we're going to have to connect two zip ties together to do this. But you can also say you didn't necessarily plan ahead that you were going to ship an animal. You can soak them in a nice warm bath until they poop and then ship. It's usually sufficient, at least to a point. I know, girl. I love you. I love you, girl, but you'll do better. You'll do better in Ohio, I think. You'll get more one-on-one treatment. So that's pretty much all you need right there. They're not going to break the zip ties. So, and this is a burlap sack. So some of the other animals will ship in in cotton pillowcases, which is fine. But also it's important to realize that usually you can only ship one animal in a box. Bye, girl. Bye. So make sure to check with your local rules and laws or whatever with whoever you're shipping with. I do not ever ship Delta. Delta is a horrific shipping choice. The only reason people use it is because it's cheaper. And Delta is not owned by Delta Airlines, from what I understand, so accountability is at an all-time low, and Delta Airlines has no obligation to help them with shipping, finding packages, any of that stuff. So I've had multiple times where animals have missed flights and nobody told anyone, and you go down there to pick something up and it's not there. And I've never had an issue with Southwest, so I stick with Southwest. These are the heat packs. So the red line side is the warm side. So you want to put the red line side towards the animal because that's what you want to get warm. So, and these last for 48 hours. So I'll probably put one on that side and then two on this side where the animal isn't going to be. And then we're basically just going to screw this thing up. When you take these on, I use this foil duct tape. It's aluminum foil duct tape, so it's meant to be kind of heated and cooled. And you just hit the edge of the pack and tape it to the roof. Put one of those on each side. If the packs happen to fall off in shipping, it's not like they're gonna kill anyone, so it's not a huge deal if they come loose, but obviously do not tape over the pack. You're just trying to secure the pack down. You don't want to seal it against the wood. And then we'll tape up this little guy. Hi girl, I know you're upset. I'm sorry. And it's early. You're heating up under your lights. You're going to enjoy the sunrise today, and now you're shoved in a box. So, bye girl. You be good. I love you. Poor girl. So we got the heat packs in there. We should be good to go on that stuff. I will throw our Lacey-Act label on the box. There you go. So that's our Lacey-Act label. So she's secure in the bag. We got the zip ties on it. She's in the box. She's got her heat packs. All we're going to do now is screw the lid down to the main box. So I'll grab one of my trusty screw guns. You don't need to go crazy on the lid. In fact, usually I'll use like a thinner sheet of plywood for the lid. But do make the box sturdy. And then when you ship packages, boxes like this, you need to have handles of some kind. So usually I'll make rope handles. Just a handle out of a loop of rope and secure it with a screw with a big washer on it. in this case, I know that we're going to be shipping the animals back and forth over the next little while. So I wanted to make the boxes a little more sturdy. So we're just doing three screws on each end and one on each length. That is it. Toothless is ready to ship. So we're going to do the same thing with Valerion, except Balarion's going to go into that box first with a heat pack attached to the roof of that box. And then we're going to put 2 heat packs on the underside of that box, which is the exact same box as this, and we'll put her in there. So there's just an extra box step, but just to add a little bit more R value insulation. So that's pretty much it. I suppose I could get Balarion out right now just to show you guys her before she goes in. She's obviously quite a bit smaller than Toothless. And Valerion's going to be going into a cotton bag. So, another cool tip to remember is the monitors will search for the vent holes because it'll be where the light is coming out. So, if you don't want them pushing on the lid, don't put the vent holes on the lid. Put the vent holes on the sides because the sides are much stronger. And then they will find these vent holes, and that's what they end up pushing on with their nose. So if you put them on the lid, they're just going to be pushing on the lids all the time. So it's better just to do it that way. But we'll get Valerian in here. She's usually not a super happy camper, so actually I don't need gloves. She's not that bad. But usually I do wear gloves just because. Or, yeah, fuck it. Let me put a glove on one hand. I'll make it easier on my ego. And I'll grab her real quick. You're okay. So she's usually okay once you get her on the ground. Hey, calm down. You're alright. You're alright. I know, you don't like being fucked with. She was in her water, so we just grabbed her, but she's, let's get you. Look. So, I know you're not happy. So, I know because you're full of eggs. I know, calm down. You're okay. You're okay. So, but this is Balarion, so I know you're not happy with me. So we're going to get her in the sack, and the easiest way to handle these guys if you're by yourself is just kind of put your knee on the base of their tail. Try not to crush their lady parts or man parts. You want to go a little bit lower than that. But we keep Balarion around because she produces so many damn good eggs. So she's actually a really, really good producer of black dragons. There you go, girl. I know. I know you're not happy. It's okay. I wouldn't be happy either. You're pretty settled in. You got a boyfriend here. Now you gotta enter into a long distance relationship with your boyfriend. I know, girl. You're alright. So we're gonna do the same thing with this one. We're just gonna zip tie it. Just a single zip tie is usually fine. I mean, they're gonna tear through the bag before they're gonna push the zip tie out. As long as it's tight, which that is tight. Send all your invoicing. All of your microchip ID information is on the invoices, like we always do. And this girl, where's your head? There you go. So, I know, you're okay. You're okay. Hey. Get your body situated. I want to make sure you're comfy in there before we close anything up. There you go. So we're going to throw one heat pack in this box with her and the other two on the lid of the wooden package. Make sure to shake these up. All that's in here is an oxidizer. So as the substance in here oxidizes, it burns oxygen. So if you're gonna do like 3 heat packs in a box, you have to realize these things are using some of your oxygen. So make sure you have vent holes, which is another reason why I'm not sticking all 3 of these in that insulated box. I'm only going to put 1 in there and I'll put 2 in the main box because these are obviously not sealed very well. They're just screwed together and there's big vent holes in them. So just keep that in mind, you know, if you're going to stick a bunch of heat packs in a box, that you're going to end up with a lot less oxygen for the animal to breathe because these things are essentially breathing. So keep that in mind as you go forward. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. Tape all these guys up. And these animals are going to a gentleman who's he's pretty fucking cool. I've talked to him a bunch. His name is Mr. Miller, Mark Miller or Alan Miller. So we can throw that in there. And he's going to be sending these animals back and forth for breeding. So we're still going to be able to work with everybody and all that good stuff. So we shouldn't have any problems with anything, and we should be good to go. I'm excited to still be able to work with the animals, even though I don't have to take care of them, which is a win-win for us. And we have everything dialed in pretty well here with how the water monitors cycle. So I mean, it's no skin off my back just to do a deal like that. So he will definitely have black dragons for sale in the future, and those black dragons will have been bred with all of my black dragons. So we're going to continue to use my male in his breeding project, and that was the whole idea behind selling these guys, was that someone could potentially have a return on their initial investment, which is awesome. And Balarion, in all reality, probably has eggs in her right now that are viable. She should. I'm confident she has eggs in her right now, because that's just how she cycles. So she should lay those eggs in the next few weeks. So that's why we are going out of our way to make sure the insulation is she's well insulated and well heated. At a certain point, I guess monitor lizards, most monitor species are able to do slight muscle contractions to control their body temps to a certain point. Obviously, if you put a monitor in a 32-degree weather, freezing temperatures, there's going to be issues, regardless of how many muscle twitches they can do. But As far as just regulating temperature, they are actually pretty decent at it. So you have a little bit of a tolerance. I guess you could call it a biological tolerance. And so hopefully we can, any temperature variations that we have inside of this box and packaging will be kind of canceled out by the heat packs and the monitor's natural capabilities. So that's what we're hoping anyway. So ultimately we just want everybody to get their safe. Because because we want to, this is all kind of a running experiment anyway, where, you know, not a whole lot of people have set gravid females and done breeding projects, sending them back and forth. So it's funny because that cardboard box is like a 1/16 taller than the inside of this box, so it's like just kind of pushing it down, which is why I didn't tape the box, because it's there's no need to. But it's kind of a good thing, I guess. We'll end up with a little more air exchange, which is not a horrible thing. So let's make sure the lid is on all the way. That's it. So lacy axe as well. And if you guys don't know, anytime you ship a reptile, especially in California, you have to have these. But just so you can see it, you just have where you can select aquatic or reptile. Obviously you check reptile, and then you write the species there, the actual species, not the slang term. Like you would never write water monitor on there. You want to write Varanus salvator. They can kick shipments back if they get inspected and you have a slang term on the lacy label. It's uncommon, but I have seen it happen. I have seen them delay shipments and inspect them, open them, inspect them, and they charge you for that. So it's hot in here. Yeah, so these guys are going to Mr. Miller. We're super excited. That plane leaves at 7:50 a.m. my time, goes to Oakland, and then I believe lands around 5-something Columbus, Ohio time. These are your Southwest Airline air bills. These are obviously pre-filled out for our company. There is a known shipper process to be able to ship a package on a commercial passenger airliner. So you have to call them and figure all that stuff out. The process usually takes about a month for them to send somebody out to your house to verify your identity and your address. So make sure you do all that. If you're going to ship, you can't just go down to Southwest and ship a package. You have to, it's a process. So if you do want to just go somewhere and ship something, that's what FedEx is for. They have their own planes. So, but yeah, just wanted to show you guys exactly how we package these guys up.